Hey everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to be looking at the standard metagame over the course of the last week. Now the standard format is still young, so there's a ton of decks to be looking at, and I want to see if we can find any trends or any decks that might catch our eye. So the first graph we're going to be looking at is the percentage of each deck that either 4-0'd a prelim, 5-0'd a standard league, or top 32'd a standard challenge or standard showcase challenge. Now you notice that the top three decks as far as appearances go are Grixis Midrange, Esper Midrange, and Mono Black Aggro. Sorry, the percentage got cut off just a little bit. The Grixis Midrange deck is just a value midrange deck. You can see a list here. Plays cards that are full of 2-for-1s or tempo advantages. So 2-for-1s like Corpse Appraiser, tempo advantages like Airtie, Shieldred, which apparently was totally off my radar, but is one of the best cards in the set, and is just trying to remove, attack, and outvalue their opponent. Esper Midrange is playing a ton of Legends and Planeswalkers, and is kind of just like Esper cards I own. One standout card for me is definitely Wedding Announcement. This card is so much more powerful than it looks like on its surface. And then Mono Black, I call it aggro, but I guess it could be considered midrange. Plays these great Mono Black Planeswalkers, cards like Evolved Sleeper, and value cards like Graveyard Trespasser, and again, Shieldred's back. And I think this entire strategy centers around cards like Invoke Despair and the consistency of the mana. Now this next graph we're going to be looking at is the top 8 percentages of these decks. So out of the standard challenge and the showcase challenge, these are the decks that top 8'd the most. You'll notice that number 1 is not held by any of the top 3 decks that made the most appearances. Red Black Anvil had 25% of the top 8 slots between those two tournaments. And Esper Midrange and Grixis Midrange had the same percentage between those tournaments. If we go back to the previous graph, Red Black Anvil is only 8% of the entire standard metagame, but was 25% of the top 8 metagame. So that really could be the next big standout deck. Look at the list of Red Black Anvil. Decks like this has existed in some capacity in standard, in the last standard, centered around Oni Cult Anvil, creating artifacts to get value off Oni Cult Anvil, and then surrounded is just a red-black mid-range list. That is not unlike if Grixis Midrange and Mono Black Midrange kind of had a baby. Now, I hope this quick analysis of the data helps you figure out what deck you plan on playing in the next standard tournament. But looking through all these deck lists, there is one deck that caught my eye that is not on this. And one deck I really want to try out is check out this 5-color Humans deck. So it's centered around Plaza of Heroes, and it is a legendary human list. So all the creatures in the deck are either legendary or humans. They're playing Mirror Box, which makes the legend rule not apply, which means you can play multiple of the same person, and gives legendary creatures +1/+1. There's also a ton of human synergies between these legendary creatures, and it just looks super sick to play, and I'll probably do a first look with the deck later on this week. So if you like this video, if you like these breakdowns, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias, links are above me and in the description. And if there's anything else you want me to break down during these weekly metagame breakdowns, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.